I put together a crazy parlay with massive odds of 386 from 4 events, so let's break it down. First parlay for Tottenham versus Brighton, and here I found a very interesting pick, because at first glance it looked like just another match of struggling Spurs side. But if you dig deeper, a scenario appears where the visitors look much more stable and dangerous. I'll start with Tottenham, because everything here looks very worrying. The team is already in the relegation zone, the coaching change didn't bring any effect. And the loss to Sunderland is not just a slip, it reflects the current level, where they were outplayed even in terms of performance. The key problem is still there. The defense keeps falling apart, they concede consistently, often already in the first half. And that's crucial for this match, because if they lose control early again, the game can collapse. On top of that, the attack is extremely unstable right now, lacking creativity and sharpness, which make them dependent on random moments. Buddy, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post match analysis every day, and I always try to keep my subscribers informed. I'm also always open to fair criticism and your well-argued picks in the comments. I read everything. Thanks for the support, let's keep going. Now let's move to Brighton, because here it's the complete opposite. The team is on the rise. 5 wins in 6 matches, and most importantly, they've become much more balanced. Before it was chaos with focus only on attack, but now there is structure, especially in defense, where they concede less and control the game. Another key factor, they are very strong in second halves, they know how to finish games and increase pressure. And against a team like Tottenham, this is crucial, because Spurs often drop off during matches. Brighton also score consistently. In 4 of the last 6 matches, they scored at least 2 goals, and against this kind of defense, it looks very realistic. At the same time, Tottenham shouldn't be completely written off, because at home they usually find at least 1 goal, and that matters for the overall scenario. So if we put everything together, the picture is clear. Brighton will better, create more chances, and have the edge. Tottenham will respond in moments, but their defense will fail again, and the match will most likely be high scoring. So my main pick, Brighton all 1 goal in the parlay. With the risk, I take over 2.5 total goals, because the game can easily open up. And for the wild parlay, Brighton win plus over 2.5 goals at 3.33.
Guys, here's my Telegram and my stats. I work as transparently and honestly as possible. I even pay taxes as an individual entrepreneur. I am one of the few in this space who actually works openly and fairly. The link is in the description below.
First parlay, second event, Eintracht versus Leipzig, and here I found 2 very interesting, because many will focus on the 0-6 loss in the first round and expect a cautious game from the hosts. But if you dig deeper, this actually looks like an open game with goals. I'll start with Eintracht, because under Year, the team has really changed, especially at home, where they started playing much more confident. 3 clean sheets win in a row, it's not random, it shows improved structure. But there is an important nuance. This works against weaker teams, and as soon as they face opponents who can attack quickly and punish mistakes, problems appear. We've already seen this against Bayern, Mainz, and even Köln. They also tend to drop off late in matches, which is important for the scenario. At the same time, in attack they consistently create chances, especially at home, where they play on the front foot. Now Leipzig. The team is in good form, 5 wins in a short stretch, but there is a nuance. Away games against strong opponents where they often struggle. That's key, because here they don't look like a team that will come and control everything. Offensively they are strong, they punish mistakes and transition quickly, which will work against Eintracht. But they are also not perfect defensively, especially in dynamic games. So putting all together, the picture is clear. Eintracht will play boldly at home. Leipzig will respond with speed and quality. Both teams are vulnerable defensively, but dangerous in attack. This is a perfect setup for a high-scoring match. My main pick, over 2.5 goals in the parlay. With risk, I take Eintracht over 1.5 as a single. And for the wild parlay, 1-2 plus BTTS yes with 2+ goals at 5.9. Second parlay, first Chelsea versus Manchester United, and here I found a very interesting pick. Because at first glance it looks like a clash of 2 struggling teams where you might expect cautious football. But if you dig deeper, this is almost a perfect match for goals. I'll start with Chelsea, because they are in complete collapse right now. 4 losses in 5 matches, problems not only against top teams but even against Everton and Burnley. That's already a systemic crisis. The main issue is defense. Too many injuries, no stability, young players making mistakes. In such conditions, keeping a clean sheet against United is very unlikely. At the same time, Chelsea still have attacking quality. Palmer, fast wingers, and even in bad games, they create chances, especially at home, where they must push forward due to their position in the table. Now Manchester United, a very similar situation. The team is stronger overall, but recent results are also concerning. Again, the issue is defense. Almost the entire center-back line is out, and the Euro having pouring is a big risk, especially against Chelsea's pace. But offensively, United are performing. Bruno is in top form, and they score consistently even more. Against Chelsea's unstable defense, they will definitely find their chances. So my logic here is simple. Both teams are vulnerable defensively, both need results, both have players who can decide games in attack. The BTTS scenario is almost inevitable, and the game can open up even more in the second half. So my main pick BTTS in the parlay. With risk, I take over 3 total goals. And for the wild parlay, both teams to score 2+ goals at 3.85. Second parlay, second event, Roma versus Atalanta, and here I found a very interesting because at first glance it looks like an even match between two top teams. But if you dig deeper, there is a clear edge toward the hosts. I'll start with Roma, because the key factor is their home form. At Olimpica in 2026, they haven't lost in the league. And that's not just a streak, it shows how comfortably they are at home. Plus, their motivation is maximum. The fight for top 4 is alive, the gap is small, and these are must-win matches. Also, their attack improved significantly after Malin joined. More speed, more aggression, consistent goals even against top teams. But there is a nuance, the defense, which still makes mistakes against strong opponents. Now Atalanta, a strong team overall, one of the best in 2026 in terms of points. But there is 2 key issues. First, away games, where they are unstable and rarely win, especially against top 6 teams. Second, priorities. After losing to Juventus, the Champions League race got complicated and the Coppa Italia becomes more important, which could lead to a more pragmatic approach here. Still, their attack is strong and they often score even in losses. So putting everything together, Roma will push at home with motivation, Atalanta will respond with their quality. But the home factor and tournament situation favor Roma. At the same time, the match is unlikely to be close, because both teams are not perfect defensively. So my main pick here, Roma over 1 goal in the parlay. With risk, I take Roma draw no bet as a single, and for the wild parlay, Roma win plus BTTS yes at 5.1.